Good morning, students. In our previous class, we have studied how adolescence and drug and alcohol abuse is connected. Good morning, students. In today's class, we will be studying more about alcohol. Meanwhile, we will recall what we have studied in the previous class. In the previous class, we had studied this topic, adolescence and drug or alcohol abuse. Okay, we had studied how in this adolescence period is very much connected with drug and alcohol abuse, and what are the reasons for alcohol abuse in adolescence. You know what is adolescence? The period between 12 to 18 years of age may be thought of as adolescence period. At this age, there is a risk of this alcohol abuse, and what are the reasons we have studied in our previous class. Today, let's move on to the next topic, which is addiction and dependence. What is addiction? Here, we are concerned more about why people take more and more drugs and why people are so much interested or attracted towards drug and alcohol. That is because of major reasons: addiction and dependence. Okay, people, when they get addicted towards a drug or towards alcohol, that process is known as addiction, and dependence is also almost of the same type. Addiction is a psychological attachment to certain effects. Okay, addiction means it is a kind of psychological attachment to certain effects. Okay, we are psychologically getting attached to particular thing is known as addiction. So what are those effects? Such as euphoria. I have told you euphoria is nothing but when we feel we are very happy irrespective of having so many problems in life. And a temporary feeling of well-being associated with drugs and alcohol. Okay, here if you see, addiction means it is a kind of psychological attachment. That means your body actually doesn't want drug or alcohol, but you are somewhere psychologically attached to a particular effect that you are getting from alcohol and drug. When people consume drug, they'll have this feeling known as euphoria. Euphoria means you will feel very happy. Okay. Otherwise, if people consume alcohol, they will feel, they'll have the sensation euphoria, and they will feel, they will have a feeling of well-being. That means they are not worried about anything, they are just happy in their life. Okay, so that is kind of different effects which people will be, attracted to. So again, we can read the statement. Addiction is a psychological attachment to certain effects such as euphoria and a temporary feeling of well-being. It is associated with drug and alcohol. Dependence. Dependence is the tendency of the body to manifest a characteristic and unpleasant withdrawal syndrome if regular dose of drugs or alcohol is abruptly discontinued. Okay. Here you can see, there is a difference between dependence, but it's almost the same. Dependence is something where you are completely depend on something, where that object or that material or that particular substance is not available to you. Then what will happen? You will develop a withdrawal syndrome. Okay, withdrawal syndrome are the syndromes that develop in a person when that person is trying to get rid of this drug or alcohol. If a person is consuming this drug and alcohol regularly, if he wants to stop it, what happens is he or she will develop something called as withdrawal syndrome. Okay, withdrawal syndrome means imagine they are taking a regular dose of drug and alcohol regularly. Okay, a person is taking a regular dose of drugs or alcohol regularly. Okay, now what happens is that is abruptly discontinued. If the person is not getting that drug and alcohol, Abruptly means suddenly you stop the supply of this drug and alcohol to that particular person, then what happens is he or she will develop a unpleasant withdrawal syndrome. Unpleasant means which is not that good to that particular person. Okay, that person will develop a withdrawal syndrome. Okay, you are reaching a stage where you are dependent on one particular thing so much that if material is not available to you, then you will develop a withdrawal syndrome. Okay, such particular feeling is known as dependence. Okay, that particular feeling is known as dependence. It is a tendency of the body. Your body develops certain characteristics or unpleasant withdrawal syndrome if regular dose of drug and alcohol is abruptly discontinued. Such particular feeling is known as dependence, or such particular condition where if you are taking regular dose of drugs and alcohol, then if this is abruptly or suddenly if it is discontinued, then your body will develop the characteristics or your body will develop a unpleasant withdrawal syndrome. Okay, so this condition is known as dependence. Now what are the characteristics of withdrawal syndrome? Suddenly, if a person who is continuously, who is addicted to drug and alcohol, if he or she is sent to a rehabilitation center, what happens is immediately their drug and alcohol supply will be discontinued. Okay, suddenly what happens, since the supply of drug and alcohol is stopped, these people who are addicted towards drug and alcohol, they will suddenly develop certain symptoms which we call it as withdrawal syndrome. Okay, they will develop certain symptoms. What are those symptoms? They will develop anxiety. Okay, shakiness. The body will be shaking. Nausea. Nausea is the vomiting sensation. Sweating. Okay, which may be relieved when use is resumed again. That means if a person is not provided with drug and alcohol for some time, a person who is taking, who is consuming that regularly, if you are not supplying it, they will develop these symptoms like anxiety, shakiness, nausea and sweating. Suddenly if you provide it again, if it is resumed again, that means if you provide the drug and alcohol to that particular person again, then he will be relieved. That means he will stop that particular withdrawal symptoms. Okay, so this is about addiction and dependence. By looking at this itself, we can clearly make out starting the consumption of drug and alcohol looks interesting to especially children who are in the age of in the stage of adolescence. Okay, who are adolescents. But however, if that that interest or the initial exploitation becomes an addiction, or if you become dependent on particular drug and alcohol, then it is very difficult to get rid of it, and people who want to get rid of it, they will develop these symptoms like withdrawal syndrome. It is very difficult to get rid of this alcohol and drug usage. So it will be better if we do not try to taste it, or if we do not try to exploit these things. It's very safe to be far from all these bad habits. Okay, next topic is effect of drug or alcohol abuse. Okay, if there is drug and alcohol abuse, what are their effects? The immediate adverse effects of drug and alcohol abuse are manifested in the form of reckless behavior, vandalism and violence. Okay, what are the effects of this drug and alcohol abuse? If people are consuming drug and alcohol in more and more quantity, what are the effects of that particular drug and alcohol abuse? Here you can see reckless behavior. Reckless behavior means those people who are consuming drug and alcohol regularly, they will behave recklessly. That means they will be too rude or adamant in their behavior. Okay, vandalism. Vandalism is it's a kind of character where people try to damage public property. by breaking it or by throwing it. Okay, when we damage a public property, that behavior is known as vandalism. Usually people who are consuming alcohol and drug, we have seen them breaking things, okay, and showing reckless behavior, a kind of arrogant behavior and violence. They will be involved in violence. Excessive dosage of drugs may lead to coma and death due to respiratory failure, heart failure and cerebral hemorrhage. Okay, if people are using more and more drugs, it will lead to coma, you know the condition, death due to respiratory failure. Our respiratory system will fail, heart failure and cerebral hemorrhage, brain damage. Okay, a combination of drugs or their intake along with alcohol generally results in overdosing and even death. People who take drugs, they usually what they try to form different combination of drugs, and they take drugs along with alcohol. So such time what happens is it leads to overdosing and it leads to death. Drop in academic performance. If the children are consuming alcohol and if they are taking drugs, it will affect their academic performance. That means they will not be able to do well in their studies. Unexplained absence from school or college. This is what we call bunking. Bunking the school, bunking the college and going along with friends to consume alcohol or to take drugs. Okay, so too much of absence in the school and college. Lack of interest in personal hygiene. People who are regular consumers of alcohol and who take drugs, they do not worry about their personal hygiene. Okay, withdrawal, isolation, depression, fatigue, aggressive and rebellious behavior. Okay, so what happens is they will lack of interest in personal hygiene, lack of interest in withdrawal. How much ever we advise these people to stop consuming alcohol and stop taking drugs, they will not listen to you. They will never try to withdraw their behavior. Isolation. Isolation means they will always isolate themselves. They do not want to participate in the social gatherings. They do not want, they will not mingle with friends. They don't make friends. Okay, they always want to be separated or isolated. Depression. Depression, they generally they go to depression because of drug and alcohol abuse. Fatigue. Fatigue means overtired. You will always find them as a very tired person. Aggressive. They are more arrogant. Rebellious behavior. Rebellious behavior means they won't have much more patience. They will be always a kind of in an angry mode. Okay, so that's what we call it as rebellious behavior. Deteriorating relationship with family and friends, loss of interest in hobbies. Okay, deteriorating means spoiling. Okay, their relationship with family and friends will spoil. They will lose their interest in hobbies. Change in sleeping and eating habits. Okay, they will if people are affected by this drug and alcohol abuse, okay, or they are taking drug and alcohol, it will change their sleeping pattern or sleeping habit and also eating habits. Fluctuations in weight. Okay, their weight will fluctuate. Appetite. Okay, their hunger will also change. If an abuser is unable to get money to buy drugs and alcohol, he or she may turn to stealing. If they are not getting sufficient money to buy drug and alcohol, what happens is they will turn to stealing. Okay, they will involve in theft also. So these are the effect of a few major effects of drug or alcohol abuse. Okay. Next we will look into few more. Drug or alcohol addict becomes the cause of mental and financial distress to his or her entire family and friends. When a person is consuming alcohol and taking drugs, if they have become an addict, addiction is some point where you cannot stop from doing it. At any cost you need alcohol and you need drug, okay, without which you will not be able to live. That particular condition is known as addiction, and the person who is addicted are known as addicts. Okay, so they become the cause of mental and financial distress to his or her entire family and friends. They are not only a burden for themselves, they are also a burden for the family, because it causes a lot of mental distress to the family, also financial distress, because I have told you, if people are not getting sufficient amount to buy alcohol and drug, they start stealing. So it is a kind of financial distress to the family. Also, when their complete behavior, complete habit is changing, it is a kind of mental distress to the family, also to the friends. Those who take drugs intravenously are much likely to acquire serious infections like AIDS and hepatitis B. People who are consuming drugs intravenously, I have told you, directly injecting into your veins. So people who take drugs intravenously, they are more likely to acquire serious infections like AIDS and hepatitis B, because people who are consuming drugs, who are taking drugs, they will not be worrying about personal hygiene or their health. So what they do is, one person is taking drug using one syringe, the next person is also uses the same syringe to take drugs. So one person is affected with AIDS or hepatitis B, there is a chance that the other person may get infected with the disease. The chronic use of drugs and alcohol damages nervous system and liver. If people are consuming consuming drugs and alcohol regularly, it will damage their nervous system. Also, it will damage their liver. The condition is known as cirrhosis. The use of drug and alcohol during pregnancy is also known to adversely affect the fetus. If a pregnant woman is consuming alcohol, or pregnant woman is taking drug, then it will negatively affect the developing baby. The side effects of the use of anabolic steroids in female include muscularization, increased aggressiveness, mood swings, depression, abnormal menstrual cycle, excessive hair growth on the face and body. If women are taking more and more steroids, okay, it leads to masculinization. That means feature like males. They will develop muscles like male. Increased aggressiveness. Female, they become very aggressive. They will have lot of mood swings. Okay, their mood changes every now and then. They will go to depression. They will face abnormal menstrual cycle. There will be excessive hair growth on the face and body. Okay, so these are the side effects of taking steroids in female. What happens in male? In male, it includes acne, okay, what we call pimples on the face, increased aggressiveness, mood swings, again change in the mood, depression, reduction of the size of the testicle, the size of testis, which is their reproductive organ, important reproductive organ which produces sperm. The size of the testis reduces. Decreased sperm production. The sperm production in male decreases. Potential for kidney and liver dysfunction. Okay, the kidney and liver will start functioning, in a negative way. It will start dysfunctioning. Breast enlargement. Okay, in male, we are talking about male. Premature baldness. Okay, they will start feeling the hair loss. Enlargement of the prostate gland. Prostate gland is one of the important glands found in men. Okay, so the prostate gland will start increasing in size. In the adolescent male or female, severe facial and body acne and premature closure of the growth centers of the long bones may result in stunted growth. If children who are in this age of adolescence, it could be male or female, if they consume more and more alcohol, if they take drugs, it will lead to facial and body acne. Acne, as I said, it's generally we call them as pimples. Okay, and premature closure of the growth centers of the long bones. Okay, we have something called as growth centers in our body, which helps in the elongation of the, especially our bones. When the bones elongate, only then we will grow in our length. When these growth centers are closed before the actual time, it's called as premature closure. What happens? The long bones will not grow, which may result in stunted growth of the body. Okay, so these are the few effects of drug or alcohol abuse. So you can see there are so many negative effects of this drug and alcohol on our body. Okay, why this topic is included at this age is because adolescence is an age where children get more and more attracted towards this drug and alcohol, and they will start the consumption of alcohol and taking drugs, especially because of the social pressure or the peer pressure. Okay, so all these effects are, they are warning us that the beginning or the initiation of this drug consumption and alcohol consumption should never be made. Okay, it should never be done. So that if you avoid this drug and alcohol usage in the adolescence period, you can avoid it throughout your life. Okay, now how to prevent and control it. How to avoid prevention, the next topic is prevention and control of this drug and alcohol usage. So if we look into few prevention and control measures, avoid undue peer pressure. Okay, avoid undue peer pressure. A child should not be pushed unduly to perform beyond his or her threshold limits. Okay, undue peer pressure means, peer pressure is a pressure where generally parents compare the children with the children of his or her same age, and they will, most of the times they complain that your child is not doing well when compared to the child of his own age, who is your neighbor, otherwise who is there in your class. Okay, this comparison between students or your children should never be done. When a child is compared with some other child, that's a kind of mental pressure on the child, and that's called as peer pressure. Peer pressure means people belonging to your same age when they are doing good. If the parents are not pressurizing, sometimes you yourself might get pressurized by looking at your friend who is of your same age, who is of your age. If she is doing well in the exam, and if you are not doing well, if she is performing well in the academics as well as non-academic activity, you might start comparing your talent with the talent of your friend. So that becomes a kind of peer pressure. Okay, the pressure that you are getting from the people, from the children, or from people of your own age, that is known as peer pressure. So this undue if you avoid this peer pressure, then going towards this alcohol and drug can be avoided. So, and parents never should push the children beyond his or her threshold limits. Always we cannot ask our child to come first in the exam or come first in any competition, because there are other children also. If they are talented, they will come first. We should always give importance for participation, rather than winning the game or winning any kind of competitions. Okay, education and counseling. Educating and counseling him or her to face problems and stresses, and to accept disappointments and failure failures as a part of life. Okay, it's very important to educate a child and counsel a child to face problems and stresses. Okay, we should not always ask or demand our students, our children to come first. Okay, we should also teach them how to face the challenges or how to face the failures. Okay, if you are expecting your child to win in every competition, you should always also teach your child to how to face the failures also. If they are failing in any particular competition, then how to face it. Okay, when this is lacking, then the child will go towards such bad habits like taking drugs and consuming alcohol. So you have to teach the child and educate the child to accept disappointments and failures as a part of life. Failures and disappointments are never bad. There are so many great people who have failed in their life. It's not necessary that you will succeed in your first attempt itself. Okay, there could be many failures in life, but it's your responsibility to know how to face these failures and how to overcome these failures and how to convert your failures as success. Okay, not everybody will pass or not everybody will succeed in their first attempt. So it's very important to accept your failure as a part of life. How winning is a part of life, so failure is also a part of life. You should always be ready to accept that. Okay, we should never get disappointed with our failures. Okay, if we are disappointed, if we fail and if we are disappointed and if we are going towards this drug and alcohol consumption, then definitely that is the biggest failure of our life. Okay, then the next, seeking help from parents and peers. Okay, always a child should seek help from parents and peers. Peers are friends. I told you, people of your same age group. Help from parents and peers should be sought immediately so that they can guide appropriately. Okay, so whenever a child is facing any problem, whenever you are facing any problem, you have to seek help from your parents and also from your parents. If not, you can always contact your whoever you feel is ready to support you, like your teachers. Okay, so immediately they should be contacted so that they can guide you appropriately. Your parents, your teachers have seen more life than you and they have faced many problems when compared to you. So there is no harm or there is no shame in approaching your parents or teachers asking for any kind of suggestions or help. Okay, so they will be always ready to help you. Looking for danger signs. Okay, so this is a very important part. Alert parents and teachers if any sign of a person taking drug and alcohol is noticed. Okay, if you find, otherwise if you detect a person, a friend sitting in your class or a friend of your group has started taking drug and alcohol, it should be brought to the immediate notice of your teachers or the parents or somebody who are elder to you, so that it can be stopped at initial stage itself. So that is danger signs. Alert parents, inform. Alert is nothing but inform parents and teachers if any sign of a person taking drug or alcohol is noticed. Seeking professional and medical help. A lot of help is available in the form of highly qualified psychologists, psychiatrists and de-addiction and rehabilitation programs. Okay, there is nothing bad in seeking medical help. If you feel that you have already started taking drugs and alcohol and you are getting more and more addicted towards it and you want to stop it, you want to lead a normal life, immediately inform your parents or teachers or somebody who will be ready to help you. Okay, because anytime you can take a professional and medical help. There are so many psychologists, there are so many psychiatrists, there are so many rehabilitation centers There are so many de-addiction centers who will help you to overcome this drug and alcohol problem. Okay, so these are the ways in which we can prevent and control. Better than all the prevention and control, our self determination of not going to take drugs or consuming alcohol is the best way. Like whatever your friends might force you, your family might force you, when you are in the society, people in the society might force you to take drugs and alcohol. You might have some pressure, you might have some disappointments, you might have some depression, but drug and alcohol is never a solution for any kind of problem. Drug and alcohol will lead you to more and more problems where you will never be able to stop in your life, and your entire life is going to be a mess. Okay, so it's very good that they have included this topic in this human health and disease chapter. I'm sure all of you are aware of what is drug and alcohol abuse, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. Okay, hope all the topics are clear to you. So with this we are finishing our chapter human health and disease. Let's recall what are the different topics we have studied in this particular chapter. So we started with its human health and disease chapter. We studied what is health, okay, and how to maintain good health. We studied what is a disease and which are the different types of diseases. Under this we have studied infectious disease and non-infectious disease. Then we studied about bacterial disease. Under that we started with typhoid. Okay, here we studied the pathogen is Salmonella typhi. Then we studied about pneumonia. We studied that there are two pathogens causing pneumonia, Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Then we studied about viral disease under this common cold. The pathogen for common cold is rhinovirus. Here are the information about common cold. Then we moved to protozoan disease. Under this we studied malaria. The causative agent for malaria is Plasmodium. The different types of Plasmodium are here. Okay, we studied about the life cycle of Plasmodium. Okay, this is the life cycle of Plasmodium. Then we moved on to amoebic dysentery, which is known as amoebiosis. Again, it is a protozoan disease. Okay, the pathogen is Entamoeba histolytica. Then we studied about fungal disease, ringworm. The pathogen for ringworm is Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. We studied the symptoms. Then we studied about helminthic disease. Under that first disease we studied was Ascariasis. Pathogen is Ascaris lumbricoides. Then we studied about filariasis. The pathogen is Wucheria bancrofti and Wucheria malayi. Okay. Then we studied how to prevent and control many infectious diseases. We studied about immunity. Okay, under immunity we studied two types of immunity, innate immunity and acquired immunity. Okay, we studied what is innate immunity. They are the inborn immunity. Okay, under immunity we studied about 4 different types of barriers: physical barriers, physiological barriers, cellular barriers and cytokine barriers. Okay, how they are able to help our body in protecting diseases. Then we moved on to acquired immunity. Under acquired immunity we studied 2 types, active immunity and passive immunity. Before that we studied how acquired immunity is obtained, what is the primary response, what is the secondary response. Okay, primary and secondary immune response, what are B lymphocytes and what are T lymphocytes. When I write T cells, it indicates they are T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes can also be called as B cells. Okay, then under this we studied about antibody molecule. Okay, the structure of antibody molecule. Then we studied about 2 types of acquired immune responses, humoral immune response and cell mediated immune response. Okay, it's also known as antibody mediated immunity, cell mediated immunity. Okay, now here we studied about self and non-self, what are self and what are non-self. Then we studied about two types of acquired immunity, active immunity and passive immunity. Okay, the difference between active and passive immunity, here I gave the example of antibody IgA and antibody IgG. Then vaccination and immunization. What is vaccination and what is immunization? Under immunization we studied what is passive immunization. Then we studied about allergies. What are allergies and what are the cause, symptoms of allergy, what are the treatments and drugs that could be given during allergy. Then we studied about one more important condition known as autoimmunity. Okay, and we studied about autoimmune diseases. We studied about few examples. Then immune system in the body. Okay, the immune system includes the lymphoid organs, tissues, cells and soluble molecules like antibodies. Under that we studied in detail what are lymphoid organs. Under lymphoid organs there are two types, primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. We studied that primary lymphoid organs are bone marrow and thymus. Secondary lymphoid organs are spleen, lymph nodes, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Also we studied about few more like tonsils, Peyer's patches of small intestine and appendix. They are all known as secondary lymphoid organs. We studied about AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, what is AIDS, how it is transmitted, who are the high risk individuals, how it spreads, what is the life cycle of HIV. Okay, this is the life cycle of HIV. We studied the diagnosis of AIDS, prevention of AIDS. Then we moved on to cancer. Okay, under cancer we studied what are the characteristics of cancer cells, what are the different types of tumors. We studied here benign tumor and malignant tumor and the differences between these two tumors. What are the causes of cancer? Okay, under causes of cancer we studied something called as carcinogens. Under carcinogens we studied chemical carcinogens, physical carcinogens and biological carcinogens. Okay, we also studied different types of cancer, carcinoma, melanoma, sarcoma, leukemia and lymphoma. Then we studied about cancer detection and diagnosis. We also studied about treatment of cancer, how cancer is treated. Then we moved on to drug and alcohol abuse. Under this topic we studied different categories of drugs like opioids, cannabinoids and coca alkaloids. We studied about opioids, how they are extracted from this plant, papaver somniferum, what is their mode of intake, what are their effects. We studied about cannabinoids, how cannabinoids are obtained from plant, cannabis sativa, mode of intake and effect. Then we studied about coca alkaloid or cocaine. They are extracted from the plant, erythroxylum coca, and what are their mode of action, okay, and what are their effects. We studied about hallucinogens. We talked about tobacco also, how tobacco is consumed, what are their effects. Then we moved on to alcohol, what are the effects of alcohol, mode of action, mode of intake. Then we started with how drug and alcohol abuse is affecting the adolescence age. Okay, we studied about different concepts like the reasons for alcohol abuse in adolescence. We studied what is addiction, what is dependence, what are the different effects of drug and alcohol abuse, okay, and how to prevent and control this drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, so with this chapter I will be ending with this topic. I will be ending this chapter, human health and disease. Okay, while taking the class itself I have mentioned which are the important questions. I will be sending you the notes through WhatsApp, for this particular chapter and also the chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants. If you have any confusion, you always have the option of going back to YouTube, rewinding the classes and looking back to the different concepts. If you do not understand any concept, you can personally contact me, okay, and Practice the topics regularly. Everyday practice is very important. Do not leave it as soon as you finish the class. Okay, go back to the classes. Watch it again and again. If you have any confusions, please get back to me. I will be sending you the notes through WhatsApp. Thank you.